Introduce yourself. Who is Celestina Blooms?
Hi guys, I'm Celestina Blooms, and I know that my name is kind of long, so I'll just say it real quick one more time. Celestina Blooms. I only repeated it because some people have trouble with the last name. It's so funny, you would think they would have trouble with the first name, Celestina, but more often than not, they have trouble with the last name, Blooms. A lot of directors will forget to put the S at the end, but sometimes they misspell the first name too. So I know it's not their fault because it's an unusual name, but if you want, you can think of me as Celeste. That is a name that I went by during my time as a stripper, so that is an alternative for you if that's easier.
How did you come up with your stage name?
How I came up with my stage name is, well, I was looking for names that weren't taken yet. At this time, I was only a webcam model. I shouldn't say only a webcam model because there are some very successful webcam models. But that was the way that I was dipping my toe into the industry. And yeah, I didn't have to say the name out loud, nor did anybody else, because it was just a username. But yeah, I chose it because Celestina sounds like a little star, and blooms is the action that the little star is doing. Celestina Blooms.
Why did you decide to get into the adult industry?
I had been curious about the adult industry basically since I was 18 and trying to find a job, but I didn't have the opportunity at that time. But I started doing lots of research about like weird, random, sexy jobs because I knew that I didn't want to have a normal job because my life has never been normal. I was homeschooled growing up, so I've always been weird, and I knew I was always going to be on the outskirts of society in some way. So I wanted whatever career I chose to reflect that. So then when I was 19, I started webcam modeling after I moved out. That was a way I was like trying to make money, but I didn't know what I was doing, wasn't very good at it. But like it opened up my perspective to so many different kinks and fetishes, and honestly, I just got so much more fascinated with the industry and sexuality, and like I just wanted to dig like deeper. And so then in 2020 I got the opportunity to start doing mainstream, and I was so excited at that time because I had been doing all this research up to that point, and I had heard all the pros and cons. Obviously hearing about it is different than actually doing it, but I was so sure that that was what I wanted to do because I, like I said, just love sexuality, and the fact that like I was going to be able to be the performer in a big way by doing mainstream was just like, you know, making my little dreams come true.
How long have you been shooting now?
Right now it's 2025, so I have been shooting scenes since 2021, so 4 years now. Of course, depends on how you count it, if you count the webcam modeling or not. But yes, I like to average it as 4 years now. Of course, now when I show up on set and they're like, "Oh, you've been in it 4 years," and then they make fun of me if I like make a mistake, because like they like will say that I should like know better, but I know they're saying it in like a funny teasing way because like everybody makes mistakes. But I'm so happy that I get to kind of call myself a veteran at this point. Because most people don't make it like 6 months, whether it's stripping or porn, any form of like the adult industry. Most people, the lifespan of their career is on average 6 months. At least that's the statistic that I've heard. So yeah, I'm happy that I could call myself a veteran at this point.
Before porn, did you go to school, college, or have a regular job?
Before porn, my education is definitely more unusual than probably a lot of other people. I don't know how many homeschoolers there are in the industry, although probably more than I think. But yes, like I said, up until 18, I was homeschooled completely, like not even the kind of homeschooling where there are like groups involved and like activities where you get to interact with other homeschoolers and things like that. No, I was like fully isolated. Yes, and then after I moved out, I did go to a massage therapy school, so I am a massage therapist. Beyond that, though, I do not have any formal education. And actually, I'm okay with that because I think it gives me like a different perspective on life. I mean, I still try to read about stuff that interests me, like, philosophy and psychology and like other random stuff. I'm trying to continue to keep learning whenever possible. But also, I don't really mind not being very traditionally educated because I also like being a bimbo. Maybe that's bad, but yeah.
What are your goals for the next phase of your career?
My goals for the next phase of my career are to keep shooting for mainstream scenes and trying to build up my own library of content that I own, that I can sell myself, because that is where the longevity in this industry is, at least as I understand it. So I am right now exploring both of those avenues of making income, my own content, and shooting for mainstream companies. And I just want to be well known in the industry, I suppose. I know that comes with cons. Like, I can already see the effects of becoming famous because it comes with more hate, and I'm kind of a sensitive person, so the hate can be, a little bit annoying. But yeah, it makes me happy whenever I find out that somebody's heard of me, or I would say the main thing that is my goal right now, aside from obviously making money, is I want to build up so much content that reflects my artistic, creative outlook on life, but also reflects my kinks or kinks that I enjoy. Basically, when people like search up my content, I want them to be able to see my personality and to see what I'm into, essentially. Like, I want it to feel like me. And obviously when you shoot for mainstream scenes, you have to do what they want you to do. And like with my own content, some of it is lower quality from years ago, so I'm trying to make new content that reflects that. But yeah, in both situations, we have the opportunity for creative expression, even though this isn't a traditional form of like art, of like an art medium. People don't think of porn, but I can't help but not at least try to make it my own.
You've got a great look. Do you have a workout routine?
How I stay fit is I just try to stay active. Going on walks, having a dog helps because you're forced to go on walks. When I actually first got into the industry, I was a little bit unhealthy. I was not taking in enough nutrients, and over the course of this recent few years, I have been gaining a healthy amount of weight. And when I started stripping a couple years ago, that forces you to exercise. So I started gaining a lot of muscle during that time. And now that I'm currently not working at the strip club, I now am going to have to figure out how to keep myself in check, keep myself working out regularly, because I don't want to lose the momentum that I had when I was dancing. So I'm doing lots of squats and hip thrusts, I think is the name of that exercise. Sounds very sexual. Lots of things that work out the lower body, because working at the club worked out my upper body a lot, and I definitely want more in the lower body going on. Those things spread out. But yeah.
What makes you feel sexy?
I would say lots of things make me feel sexy. Before getting into the industry, I did not feel sexy at all, even though I technically was still an attractive person. Gaining confidence from realizing that everyone has a preference, and there are going to be a lot of people who have a preference for whatever you have. And so obviously I got lots of validation from people reassuring me that I am hot. But I would say at this point, that's not what makes me feel hot. I would say I feel hot when I've done a full shower and makeup routine, if I've gone through the ritual of getting ready, because that will give me the time and the space to get fully into my body and into the version of myself that is the sexy bimbo seductress that I am. Then it doesn't really matter what I wear or how people see me, but they're going to see me after I do that routine.
What's the biggest lie people believe about doing porn?
I would say the biggest lie that people believe about doing porn is people think that those who do it must hate themselves, or they must have no form of spirituality, no religion, no sense of pride, or basically they think that we all just have given up on life, that we do this because we have absolutely no other choice, but that, I mean, maybe for some people, if they had no options in life, they had already exhausted all their options in life, then it's nice that porn does offer opportunities to those people if they're in the right place at the right time and willing to perform and have a good attitude and all of those things. It's good that it does give them that opportunity, but it's definitely a very harmful stereotype to say that we only do this because we have no choice. And as far as our self-worth, that's going to be a very individual thing, because different people will have different internalized religious trauma or things like that. Me personally, I wasn't raised to be like against sexuality. I wasn't necessarily taught much about sexuality at all, but I wasn't given any negative connotations to it. And honestly, I mean, maybe my background is unusual, but my self-worth has gone up since I got in the industry. Maybe that's just because I happened to be in the industry when I started fully developing as a person. It could be a coincidence, but yes, I would say the biggest lie is that just we all hate ourselves and are at like the bottom of the barrel of life. Like I'm living my best life, and like I can't really think of anything else that I could realistically be doing. Even not realistically, like if I try to think of some big crazy dream that I would want to be doing instead, it would still be something similar. So, yeah.
What's the strangest thing a fan's ever asked you to do?
I love my fans. My fans ask me to do so many crazy things, and I am so here for it. I would say the weirdest or strangest thing that a fan has asked me to do that I've done, this was a request for a custom photo of me pretending to be dead, like with specific like details of like the drool coming out of the mouth and the kind of pants that I was wearing and the angle the photo was shot from. Like things like that don't really disturb me actually, because I mean, maybe I'm in denial, but I feel like if somebody is, you know, looking for content related to a fetish like that, then they're probably not actually doing those things in real life because they have an outlet. Maybe I'm just being optimistic. I don't know. But yeah, that was a pretty weird one.
What's the funniest pickup line a fan's ever tried on you?
Funniest pickup line? I really wish I could think of an answer because I'm afraid pickup lines, whether in person or online, that's one thing that my memory just doesn't retain. Like, I'm not keeping a log in my head of all the pickup lines people have said to me. But yeah, I'm sad I can't answer this question because, like, funniest pickup line, I feel like there are some really funny ones out there. I'm sad I can't share any.
What's the weirdest place you've ever been recognized by a fan?
Weirdest place I've ever been recognized? Well, I've obviously been recognized at conventions, at AVN, at the strip club, but the weirdest place, I think I was actually recognized at a Costco, but I didn't know it at the time. The fan then messaged one of my friends who's also in the industry, and she told me that he had seen me. I guess he was like too nervous to come up to me, but I definitely need to get out there more because I want people to start recognizing me.
Were there any memorable moments from set that you can share with us?
Memorable moments from set. Well, for starters, I could tell you the first ever mainstream set that I was on. It was for Girlfriend Films, and Marcus London was actually the director that day, though he's not usually the director for that website, or at least hasn't been in my experience. My co-star that day was Alex Cole, and I revealed that I had never actually kissed a girl before this. And Alex Cole and Lainey Gray both heard that I had never kissed a girl before, and this was before we had started rolling, but we're all on set. Lainey Gray's not part of my scene, she's doing another scene. But they both offered to be my first girl kiss on set, but behind the camera. So we did a 3-way kiss first, and then I kissed Alex Cole. She's a very good kisser. So that was my first girl experience. Okay, here's another memorable moment that I'll throw at you. More recently, I shot for Mind Control Theater. That's a site that's a little bit more niche because it's a website that features a kink that is not allowed in most places because mind control. But that's a kink that I very much have. So I was honestly more excited about doing that scene than even a lot of the other mainstream ones that I've done, just for personal reasons. And I got to work with Chad Alva and Chrissy Stevens that day. Chad Alva is a award winner and possibly, I don't know if Chrissy is as well, but she probably is. But anyway, besides the point, the memorable moment, aside from that entire day on set, because I just, again, have such a big kink for mind control. It's all very staged, obviously, but okay, so the part that sticks in my head is where he's me in one of the scenes. It's not the main sex scene, but it's one of the earlier sex scenes where I'm like repeating after him. He's like saying that I'm a brainwashed fuck doll, and I'm repeating it back to him while he's fucking me, and I have to be like zoned out. I have to like act like I'm not focused on him, and I'm just like staring through him into the ceiling, and he's saying those things to me while he's fucking me. I literally almost came. I had to like keep a straight face, but I literally almost came right then. I mean, I come on set a lot, but that was a special moment.
As a performer, what challenges have you overcome to reach this point in your career?
What challenges? That is a really good question. I'm going to try to do it justice. So, obviously, the first challenge was body image issues. I had to get over that first and foremost, along with obviously shyness. I was very awkward before. I had to get over that. A big part of that is I had to get over my fear of being too much. This is really relevant when it comes to performing and like when it comes to dirty talk. You cannot have a fear of being too much, because early on in the industry, I didn't know how to make enough noise, how to dirty talk. I would be like kind of too quiet. Now I'm slowly getting over that, because you kind of just have to like not really care if you're gonna be too much. You're gonna be what amount you're gonna be, and it's probably still not enough unless you're already a person who's just always too much. But even then, that's subjective, you know. If it's the right person, they're gonna love you. But okay, so then another challenge is navigating the industry itself, because when I first got in, obviously I didn't know everybody. I still don't know everybody, but I started with an agent that was like a smaller agent who was like not as professional, and so I've had to move through a couple different agencies to get to the point where I am now, to have the connections that I have now, networking obviously, and a big part of that is also navigating the chaos that happens in the industry, because there will always be people talking about this or that person, and figuring out when to speak up and when to stay out of something that you're not involved in is definitely a big challenge. But I just have learned to be very professional in the sense that I'm just gonna try not to get involved in stuff if it doesn't like have to do with me, if it's not, you know, a personal experience of mine that I need to share. And like even then I only like share bad experiences in like as like a last resort if I feel like I absolutely have to. Yeah, like so navigating the people in the industry is a challenge, but I'm definitely in a better place with that than I was when I started. And I would say the other challenge that I face to get where I am now is related to my body, not so much the body image issues of like weight and looks, but the like libido and physical limitations of like how big of a I can take and things like that. Like for example, if I change what kind of birth control I'm using, that can change my libido. And like if I go too long without having sex with guys with bigger dicks, then I have to get used to it again. So those things can make sex initially slightly painful, but I've gotten really good at mentally getting myself horny when I'm on set, and then my body listens to that and opens up, and then nothing is painful anymore. So yeah, navigating all of those things have been big challenges, but they've gotten me to where I am now.
What are your favorite scenes with you that you could recommend?
Some scenes that I would recommend. Well, obviously the mind control theater one that I mentioned. I know it's niche, but I just had so much fun filming it, so I have to recommend that one. And by the time you watch this, there might be a sequel. Who knows? Also, my penthouse scene, and I'm still waiting for my hustler scene to come out. Another one that I'm excited to see when it comes out is the Team Skeet scene, the stepdad, stepdaughter one with Jack Vega. In that one, there was some fun, bratty acting that I got to do. So definitely go check out those scenes.
Who are some of your favorite performers and directors?
So this is a really hard question to answer, but I'll just list some performers who are kind of inspirational to me, but I haven't met them. I would say Goth Charlotte, Eden Ivy, and Ivy Wolf off the top of my head. I know there are so many more, but yes, those girls, ladies, are very inspirational to me. As far as directors, I'm really bad with names, and like I don't want to pick favorite directors, but I love directors who give me direction, who give me like acting like instructions, acting prompts, and things like that. And I also love directors who aren't afraid of like filming scenes that are a little darker, you know, a little dirtier, things like that. Like obviously to the extent that we can get away with on the internet nowadays.
Do you have a count of how many people you were with before porn?
Yes, I do know how many people I was with before I got into porn. The answer is 2. But actually one of them was a single day sugar daddy, as I'm going to call it for this video. So that doesn't really count. So really, I had only been with one person actually before I got into the industry, which honestly makes me so like happy and proud. Maybe I shouldn't be proud, but the fact that I've had my sexual journey, my sexual awakening, basically documented almost from the beginning. Like, obviously, I didn't record losing my virginity, but I'm almost sad that I didn't, because the idea of the fact that you can look back at almost my whole entire like progression of the like growth and development of my sexuality, like that makes me so happy.
Is there anyone out there that you would like to work with?
Yes. So people keep telling me that I look like Angela White. So since people keep saying that, apparently I need to work with her, because like that would look like, I don't know, like a big sis, like little sis, or like mother-daughter scene or something. Like either way, like it's gonna be really good.
Do you have any fantasies you would like to do in front of camera?
So right now, the biggest fantasy that I have that I haven't yet done in front of the camera is anal. I've only done anal with toys on myself, and like I'm just now starting to get to the point where I think I could soon start taking some dicks up there. And yeah, I've had so many fantasies that I've gotten to perform on camera, like gangbangs, orgies, age gap stuff with older guys, BDSM, hypnosis, so many dirty, dark fantasies that I've gotten to explore and would love to continue to explore. But yeah, right now, that's the one that I'm excited about. That's gonna be big when that happens.
What is the best thing about doing porn?
For me, the best thing about doing porn is that it's taught me to live more unapologetically. I mean, that sounds really corny, but it's so true. I mean, like I said, I've had to unpack so many insecurities, fear of being seen, fear of being too much. So for me, doing porn has just given me the space to be fully myself, but also gives me the space to play around with playing a character as well. I don't have to be myself all the time, I can have fun with it. And plus the sex, I've had so many just amazing experiences that I would not have been able to have otherwise, at least not safely. So, just living out my fantasies. It's been amazing for me. Okay. Favorite drink? Orange juice. Favorite food? What's it called? Pasta. I was thinking of a specific pasta. It was raviolis. Raviolis. Favorite movie? Well, the first one that comes to mind is The Labyrinth with David Bowie. Like, I know that there are some better movies that I've seen since then, but that will forever be the favorite movie that pops into my head when people ask for my favorite movie. Favorite song? All of Human Knowledge Made Us Dumb by Sophia Zella. It's the first one that came to mind. Favorite position? Missionary. Top or bottom? Bottom. Give or receive? Give. I'm terrible at receiving. I'm working on it. Tease or please? Honestly, please. Teasing is fun, but I'm just a pleaser. Fast or slow? Slow. Wild or tame? Wild.
Any final words for your fans?
Well, if you're a fan and you're watching this or reading this, honestly, you are almost the whole reason that I do this. The fans that see the scope of my content, that have seen where I've come from, and who see like the progression of how I've gotten to where I am now, and who support me. You guys like mean the world to me. So please keep it up. All right. Thank you. Bye bye.